welcome to another edition of Shootin' Plink. Hey, today we're back with what I have seen is probably one of the favorites of you guys, the viewers. It's a Ruger, and it's, some of you call it Blondie. It's the natural wood 75th anniversary of the Ruger shooter, the 1022 shooter. And I tell you, this thing has been doing fantastic. Great gun, but what we've done, and I told you I'd probably do that to this gun, is we put a scope on it. And CV Life was nice enough to send in a scope. It just hit perfect. I had forgotten that I had this scope already. They had sent it and they wanted me to try it out. And it comes with its own mounts here. I'm thinking about putting some of those other mounts, like I used the see-through ones, so that I can use the sight up here. Because if I want a closer round, I would rather be using the open sights. Anyway, we have got it set up with this. I've already sighted it in. In fact, I'm going to show you here what it looked like. I'm going to take you up there and I'll show you the target that we've been sighting it in on. Alright, I was using a Shooting Target7 Mega target. This is one of the Ultra Mega targets that is a what they call bullseye target. So you can see I actually did it in 3 rounds. I had one down there, that's the bottom round, you can see in the black, and I spray painted ahead of time so I knew where I had rounds hitting. I'll get over the top here. I got some plinking targets here, some of the Shooting Target7, these right here, the dirt bags. I'm going to be shooting those with that rifle here in just a little bit. Don't want to knock it over. But, like I said, this was the first round that I hit right here. And then I adjusted it, and I thought I adjusted it high enough, but obviously I didn't. And then I fired a round over here, because I tried to adjust the windage, and I got off somehow. So the next one, what I did is I kept aiming right to here, and I brought it down, and I brought it over, and then put it on the button. One round hit, and you can see where the others did. I fired several more rounds, and they all grouped right into that center area. So that scope's on, pretty on right now, and we're going to do some more shooting with it. We're going to, like I said, we're going to be shooting these right here at first, and then we're going to move over to the 50-yard range, and we're going to set up some targets, and we're going to fire there too. Anyway, I wanted to show you what I just did, and let's go back there now, shoot at these. And I don't think I'm going to have enough. I've got a few rounds loaded in here right now, and I think there's only like 3 or 4 rounds, so we'll be lucky even to get all of these. Anyhow, that's what we're going to do. You're clear back here by me. We're using our shooter's choice bag, and I don't know if I've got a round in here or not. Well, I better take the cover off of the scope. Won't be able to see anything with that. And we're going to try to pick those off, and I might have a round in here, I'm not sure, we'll find out. Yeah, we did. That was it, but it was right on. I mean, it just picked them off so easy, and not too bad. What we're going to do, like I said, we're going to go over to the 50-yard line, and we're going to load it. Put a target over there, and well, we'll see what happens. Well, hopefully I've got you zoomed in good enough up there, because I've got some knockout targets. As you can see, I've got some of the Shooting Target7 dirt bag knockouts, and I don't think they've even got those available anymore. I'm not sure, but that's some of the larger type up there, and there's 3 of them, and one of them is pretty hard to see. It's just a real dark spot just below the big red one that you can see, the gong. And we're going to try to take those knockovers out first, and we're going to see how this works. I've got it loaded up with this right here. Well, of course you can't see it, you're zoomed in, but I've got it loaded up with the Aguila, and it's the Super Extra. So we got a little bit more potency with it than what we, because the last ones we fired was the CCI Quiet Auto, and it did a pretty good job. But we'll see what this does now. We're gonna take the safety off. I got it loaded, and like I said, I'm gonna try to take that one knockout out that is kind of in the shadows. I can see it, I know you can't really, well, you can see it, it's just kind of tough. We'll try to get him first. Ah. Okay, I guess it helps to put a round in, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to try to get that one first. Got him. Okay, we're going to get the other knockouts now. I know you can see those a little bit better. Yep. Okay, we got all the knockouts, so it's pretty good there. Like I said, this is 50 yards. Now we're going to take on the gong and use the rest of them because I don't have any more knockouts. Okay, that was it. Now, let's go back to where we started. Okay, I decided to walk up the hill, pick up the dirt bags, and also the gong, so we can take a look at what we actually did here. And not too bad. I'll show you how it was hanging, because it's only hanging from one ear on one of these. And we'll move the rifle so that we don't do any damage to that. Right there. It's a good rifle. I really like that thing. Pretty too. Like I said, some of the, I'll get rid of these. Turn these off and there we go. Those are good headphones, by the way. They're the Howard Lights. Very, very good. Anyway, like I said, some of the people, the reviewers, they've nicknamed this thing Blondie. So a couple of guys said that they've got theirs named Blondie. I'd have to give a certain girl's name to it then, because I know a blonde. We won't go into that. Anyhow, we had this hanging up like this on this ear. So I'll show you where it grouped. We got a good grouping, but it's a little high. I wanted it in here, in the center. I guess I was just shooting a little high, and I'll show you up closer here. If I had my cameraman, he could have zoomed it in. We had no problem. It's right up in here. You can see we got a good grouping of 7, and this was all freshly painted. That's why I know where they hit. That's the idea of it. When I'm doing something like that, I like to freshly paint it so that we know where they're hitting. And at 50 yards, they were right up in here. And I like to have it down here, but I think actually I was aiming a little high too. So I might have to do a little scope adjustment on that, but we adjusted that scope for 25 yards for one reason. And I should have known enough to be sighting down below here. Now I'm going to show you the where it hit on the, and pretty much the same sort of a thing off to the center on these knockovers, these dirt bag knockovers. And I'll show you, every one of them hit right about in the same spot. We'll set them up here, and then I'll just show you. I'm not going to bring them over to you. They all hit up in here, and how would I know it? Well, you look for a fresh spot, and you can kind of see it, especially with that Aguila, because that was super extra. They're hollow points, and they got more of a splatter pattern to them. Also, you see a shiny spot where they're at now. I'll try to show you here where we got them. This one right here, he hit right here. This one hit right there, right almost same location, and this one hit right here. Pretty much the same spot on every one of them. So the scope, it was tuned in for the area it was firing at, and it stayed, it didn't jump all over the place. I mean, it stayed where we had put it. And the one thing, I hadn't planned on doing a review on this scope actually, but I turned up the magnification. I went to, I think a 5, yeah, I went to a 5, and I had it on 3, and perhaps I should have left it on 3, because one thing that I have noticed is when you change that magnification, you can actually throw your sighting off just a little bit. And I've seen this with a lot of scopes. And that's why usually if I sight it in at a certain magnification, which I usually like to sight it in about a 4, I leave it there. And I think this time I sighted this thing in a 3. So there's 2 different locations there, definitely. I mean, it's the spread. But this scope has got very, very clear. I don't think you could see it if I held it up to the camera. I wish you could. It's extremely clear, and it's also got tremendous eye relief. I'll show you how far back I can be with this and still have a very, very clear picture. Okay, right here, I'm clear back here, and I've got a very clear picture of whatever I'm looking at. So I'm not way up like this. I'm back here, and you can see it really good. So that's not too bad, really. It's just about right. And I don't really know what the measurement is. All I know is I picked it up, I got the scope, didn't pay attention to it, they sent it. Thought, okay, I'm going to try it out, and I think it just, to me, it just matches up perfectly with this 75th anniversary Ruger 1022. And for those of you that didn't know, and I am going to show this up to you close, the 75th anniversary logo is over in here, and I'll show you. Okay, the 75th anniversary, now if you can see it, it's right up in this area right here. I'll get my hand out of the way, and then maybe you can see it, hopefully. But that's where they put it. I thought it was kind of odd, really. To me, I would have thought that it would have been really good to put it right up here on top, right in that open area, just like they did with the 380, because they've got that little LCP Max 380, and we've done a review on that. You can go back and take a look at that. I'm going to get these out of my way. Noisy, aren't they? Yeah, I'm going to put them down easier. Okay. Yeah, like I said, you can get those out of my way, because I don't want them falling over and hitting this gun. This is really, I mean, it's a pretty gun, and you've got these right here. I have tried to strap on it. I took it off. I took off the sling, and I'm going to get a different sling is why. I'm going to get a regular Ruger sling, and I'm going to get one that will fit here rather than having the clips. And so far I have not been able to find one like I want, so I'm going to wait till I do. Anyhow, that was it. We sighted in the scope. We used a scope on it like I told you we were going to. It did a doggone good job, I think. Hit all the targets. Hit them when we were shooting at 25, and we hit them at 50. Off just a little bit, but it's still good grouping. And hey, I don't have any problems with it. And I do think I'm going to go with a see-through scope mount so that I can use these sights. Because I always like the ability to use both if I can. And that one see-through that I use, it works really, really good. But you want one that isn't, if you get one, make sure that it's got a top piece so that you can have them set, not so that you got to stand there and hold it and screws here and screw here at the same time mount it. Those are not good, I guarantee you. They'll drive you nuts. You want the type that looks a lot like this, but it clamps here and stands higher. And those will work great. I can't even think of the brand, or I'd tell you what the brand is right now. It starts with an M. Is it Monstrum? Something rather like that, I think. They're the ones that make that. I think that's about the name of it. Anyhow, you can look them up. I got them on Amazon, in fact. So that's it. That's the Ruger 75th anniversary 1022 in the natural wood color with the CV Life 3-9 by 40 scope. Great combination. Really like it. Oh, and by the way, this rail, this comes with the gun when you get it. It's not mounted. You mount it yourself. So until next time, shoot safe and have a great day of plinking.